Today we're going to review multiplying polynomials. Our first one we have is a monomial times a polynomial. We have one term times multiple terms. And I'm going to show you both methods, method 1 through distributive property and method 2 through the box method. Okay, so let's start with the distributive property. To distribute means to hand out, so we're going to hand out what's on the outside to everything on the inside. So I have 3x squared times 5x. Start by multiplying your coefficients. Your 3 and 5 gives you 15. And you have x squared, and there's an invisible 1 up here. We add our exponents on our x's to give us x to the third. Distribute that 3x squared over to the negative 2. You have 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x squared. If you want to go to the box method, that's completely fine. Your box is going to be a 1 by 2, because your first polynomial has one term, and your second polynomial has 2. So 1 by 2. I have 3x squared for my first one, and across the top I have 5x and a negative 2. Fill in those boxes. I have 3 times 5 gives me 15. Add my exponents on my x's to give me x to the third. 2 times negative 2 is negative 6 with the variable x squared. Pull that on out. You get 15 x to the third minus 6 x to the second. Checking to make sure it's in standard form. Your degrees are going down from greatest to least. Either way, you get the same answers, whatever method you prefer. Okay? Let's look at another example. 3x squared plus 4 times x squared plus 8x minus 4. I'm going to start with the distributive property. So I'm going to take what's in the first one and multiply it by everything in the second one. And we just have to do it twice because there's two things in the first one. So I'm going to start with this 3x squared. 3x squared times 1x squared gives me 3x to the fourth, adding our exponents together. 3x squared times 8x. Multiply our coefficients. 3 times 8 gives me a positive 24. X squared and x to the first gives me x to the third. 3x squared times negative 4 gives me a negative 12x squared. Okay, now that we've distributed the 3x squared, we need to distribute the 4. So we're going to take 4 times 1x squared gives us a positive 4x squared. 4 times 8x gives us 32x. And 4 times negative 4 gives us a negative 16. The last step you want to do is make sure that you can, to check if there's anything you can combine. You can combine this negative 12x squared and this 4x to give you a negative 8x squared. Nothing else you can combine, so we just want to bring it all down, making sure we write it in standard form. 3x to the fourth plus 24. 24x to the third minus 8x squared plus 32x minus 16. Okay, that's the first method through distributive property. If you want to do it in the box method, you have to decide how big is your box going to be. Your box is going to be how many ever terms you have in the first one and how many terms you have in the second one. So we have 2 by 3. So down the side I have 3x squared and a 4. And I'm going to have 3 across the top. X squared, 8x, and a minus 4. Okay? Now in the boxes you just want to fill it in by multiplying. 3x squared and x squared gives us 3x to the fourth, adding our exponents. 3x squared and 8x, multiply those coefficients to give us 24, 3 times 8. And add our exponents to give us 3. 3 times negative 4 gives us a negative 12x squared. Go on to the next row. 4 times x squared gives you 4x squared. 4 times 8x gives you a 32x. And 4 times negative 4 gives you a negative 16. Okay, you can pull everything out. 3x to the fourth plus 24x to the third minus 12x squared plus 4x squared plus 32x minus 16. And you're going to look for anything you can combine. You know, say we can combine our x squareds here. And that gives us negative 8x squared. And then nothing else we can combine, so we just write it down in standard form. 3x to the fourth plus 24x to the third minus 8x squared plus 32x minus 16. Okay? Just a review on multiplying polynomials. Good luck on your homework.